You're listening to Table 12 Podcast. Danny Barr, Paul Marino, Rob Klein in the other room. Gentlemen.
Afternoon.
So last night was Oscar night.
Mm-hmm.
Big night in Los Angeles. Big night. Huge. Yep. Huge. A lot of backslapping.
Yeah.
Lots of backslapping.
Didn't watch one second.
Thank God for us. We're going to show the world we know what's best.
Yeah.
So Conan O'Brien hosted. So I'm just going to ask before I start. Did you watch it?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't give it 1 second.
I understand.
You know when I would have watched it? If John Voight, James Woods, Sly Stallone, Gary Sinise, and Ted Nugent were in attendance and getting up there. That's when I would watch it.
They, well, you better hurry up because they're not getting any younger. That crew.
Yeah.
The Conan O'Brien hosted. I'm a fan of Conan.
I like
O'Brien.
Conan.
I think he's a funny guy. And so I was, but I did not see one movie that was nominated this year. And I think it's the first time in 40 years that I didn't see at least one movie.
That's the other reason I don't watch it, because I don't know any of the movies. I wouldn't know. Like I know they show clips, but
we tried to watch one of the movies. One battle after another.
Mm-hmm.
Turned it off.
Who's in that?
So that's Leonardo DiCaprio, Sean Penn.
It wasn't any good even with them guys in it.
It sucked. I just couldn't follow it. I thought it was bizarre.
Was that on Was that on someplace you could watch it?
It was on Netflix.
Streaming?
Netflix.
Oh, Netflix?
Yeah. Paul Thomas Anderson is the director.
Mm-hmm.
He's great. He's great. He's done a couple of favorites of mine. Boogie Nights. Magnolia, There Will Be Blood. Phenomenal
good movie.
Phenomenal movie, right? Just could not make heads or tails of this movie. And we were completely bored with it. And the character Sean Penn played was one of the creepiest, weird characters I've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
And he ends up winning the Oscar.
He won?
Night. He won.
Wow.
Wasn't there, obviously. But he doesn't go to those things. But he won. And that movie wins Best Picture, wins Best Director.
That's the movie that won?
Yes, Best Supporting Actor.
Wow.
They said it was the best movie of the year, and I turned it off. There's another movie. Michael B. Jordan won Best Actor. He played Apollo Creed's son
mm-hmm.
in the Stallone movies. And he's great. I like him. Charismatic. He was in Black Panther. He's done some good stuff. His movie's called Sinners, and it has to do with Delta Blues and racism and what have you. But I'm going to watch that. I've heard a couple of people say they didn't like it, but I'll probably watch that when it comes out on streaming. But I was glad to see Paul Thomas Anderson. But
he won Best Director.
He won Best Director.
Mm-hmm.
And Conan's monologue was fun. It was entertaining. He's a funny guy. But I kind of thought to myself, one of the things he said, though, was that the Oscars were being watched in 31 countries. And it made me think, today, that's not a big deal.
No.
That's, hell. We have listeners in more than half those countries.
Yeah.
On our little shindig here.
Yep.
My son's band, The Spins, their music's been downloaded in 108 countries.
Mm-hmm.
So I found that kind of odd that he touted that. Because in this day of the internet, to reach 30 countries is not a huge accomplishment. It's a good accomplishment. It's just not a huge one. Then I watched it like I always watch the Oscars. I record it.
So you can go through.
And then I fast forward through
mm-hmm.
most of it. 90% of it.
Mm-hmm.
But today, while I was at work, I was looking on the internet, and, you can't avoid it. There's stuff in there. And one of the things they were talking about is the jokes that were made. Now, I always got a kick out of the Oscars, have all the time in the world for scripted humor and these little bits and what have you. But then when somebody achieves their crowning achievement of their career and wins an Oscar, they rush them off stage because they don't want them to talk. You know, you got time for the stupid bit, but you don't have time for these people, and that's why they're there. But they had one presenter come out, and he was doing short film. I think it was short film. And he said he would like to see other movies, big movies, become short films. And then he was making examples from their titles. So Gone with the Wind,
right?
Gone with a Breeze, right? Like to shorten it.
So this was a bit?
This was a bit.
Okay.
Okay. That someone came out to present the short film Oscar, and this was his bit to launch into it. But one of the examples he did was, instead of Schindler's List, you could call it Schindler's Post-it. And people's heads are exploding online today because they consider that a Holocaust joke.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could have left that one out.
Yeah, I agree.
You know how many writers that went through to get that point?
There. Yeah.
And nobody said, you know what, maybe we leave that one out. It's not a good idea. And then the other...
Did he get boos? He probably didn't get any reaction in the crowd, did he?
Crickets.
Yeah.
Like they went from laugh, 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 crickets. And then somebody made a joke about, I think it was Javier Bardem, who I like. I mean, No Country for Old Men, wearing a Free Palestine button, and said, in Spain, at least we arrest our pedophiles. And everybody cheered. And I'm thinking, well, half that crowd supported Harvey Weinstein.
Yeah. Good point. Yep, absolutely.
So
they're all hypocrites.
Take all your self-hating guilt.
Everybody's hypocrites. They're all hypocrites. And there's no bigger hypocrites than these Hollywood people.
Well,
and not all of them. I just mentioned a few that aren't.
Well, then Kimmel came out.
Oh, God. I would have turned it off.
To give the award.
I just shut the whole TV off at that point.
Yeah, but I at least want to see them make an ass of themselves. And he was doing Best Documentary. And he made a joke about Melania's documentary, Melania, not being nominated. And he said, well, I bet Trump's pissed at that. Well, here's the thing. The deadline to be nominated was December 31st.
Mm-hmm.
And her documentary came out January 30th.
Yeah.
So she couldn't be nominated.
No, he just had a...
This is how inane and self-important they are. I'm going to make this joke.
Because he thinks half the people don't understand it.
And everybody's going to laugh. When she didn't qualify for nomination to begin with. This year, it could be nominated.
Yeah.
You know,
but he just has to take the moment.
That's it. Yeah. And to me, I'm thinking, if that's all you got, then you got nothing.
Right.
Because you're making a joke about something that couldn't happen.
Right.
But they did the in memoriam.
Did he get a reaction?
Oh, they laughed. Of course they laughed. Yeah. And then they did the in memoriam. Did a beautiful tribute to Rob Reiner. They had, Chris Guest and Michael McKean. They all the Manny Patinkin, like from people from all his movies. Demi Moore, Kevin Pollak, Billy Crystal did the speech, but Carol Kane came out and they just stood there and then turned around and looked at a picture of Rob and his wife. And that was very nice. But then they morphed right into the in memoriam. And, a lot of them are behind the scenes people and you don't know who they are and what have you. But then they got to the big ones and they actually did presentations.
The Val.
On Diane Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, Robert Duvall, Robert Redford, and Barbara Streisand came out and did a little thing about Robert Redford. I mean, you're talking some
Heavy hitters.
heavyweights
Absolutely.
here, and people were fans of.
Yep. Exactly.
And so pretty tough year
Yeah.
for Hollywood legends this year, especially Diane Keaton, Robert Duvall, and Robert Redford.
Yeah.
That was sad, I thought.
I agree.
But then they roll into the big awards and what have you, and it got me thinking. Our favorite movies that were nominated but did not win Best Picture, because everything is about being Best Picture.
Mm-hmm.
But and it's going to sound like Red Button's bit right now, but some of the greatest movies ever made did not win Best Picture.
And a lot of times too is the reason, if you have 5 nominees, sometimes it's 5 good movies. There was times where you documented that a while back on how many good movies come out in a year, like 75 or 39. So you only have one, but the other 4 are good movies too.
Right, and then you have a year where you have 4 big nominations, and a movie called Tom Jones wins.
Right.
Now, sometimes, like when To Kill a Mockingbird was nominated, Lawrence of Arabia won. Okay. That's a tough argument.
Yeah.
But here's who did win. Gone with the Wind, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, On the Waterfront, Ben-Hur, both Godfathers, and Cuckoo's Nest.
Mm-hmm.
They won. Rightly so. I looked, and there was not another movie nominated
in that category in that year.
In that year, that should have won over them.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. But I'm going to throw a few movies out to you here. Grapes of Wrath.
Good movie.
Did not win.
Mm-hmm.
Philadelphia Story.
Now, is that the one with Cary Grant and Jimmy Stewart?
And Katharine
Hepburn.
Yeah. Very entertaining.
Didn't
movie.
win.
Don't think it should have, but
it was
a big movie.
Yeah, it's not one of my favorites, but it was, you have some big names in that.
Maltese Falcon.
Great movie.
Did not win. Now, the next 3 probably were nominated, but probably shouldn't have won anyway. But great movies. 3 of my favorite movies. Yankee Doodle Dandy, Pride of the Yankees, and It's a Wonderful Life. 3 of my all-time favorite movies.
Great.
Movies I will watch every time they're on.
Yep. In fact, Pride of the Yankees was on the other night.
Yes, it was. Yep.
I recorded it. It was like 1:45 in the morning.
They Treasure of Sierra Madre.
Phenomenal.
Classic.
It don't get better than that.
And they didn't win. Streetcar Named Desire.
Yep. But now, what's her name won for? She won an Academy Award. Vivian Leigh won for Blanche.
Blanche, yeah.
She won the Academy. That was her second one from after Gone with the Wind.
That's such a great movie.
It is a great movie.
One of our favorites, Quiet Man.
Yep.
Nominated, did not win. But you know who won that year?
No.
From Here to Eternity.
Oh, you can't argue with that one either.
That's a tough one.
That's
you're
a tough
not going to beat that.
No.
Giant. 10 Commandments. 12 Angry Men. We were just talking about it last week.
Mm-hmm.
You know which won the Best Picture that year?
No.
The movie you just watched last week before we did the show. Bridge Over the River Kwai.
Oh, that was phenomenal.
So there's one that you just can't argue with.
No.
To Kill a Mockingbird, I mentioned. And Apocalypse Now did not win Best Picture.
It's like you said, just because the ones that won, there's a lot of movies that didn't win,
The Hustler. Cleopatra. Now think about this. Ben-Hur did win, but 10 Commandments and Cleopatra did not.
Do you know what they had Cleopatra? You know what movie that they had to film and get all the stars to play in it in order to fund Cleopatra?
What?
The Longest Day.
Oh,
they used that money
to make Cleopatra?
Yeah, because then they went over budget, but they used that money, and that's why they have everybody's in that movie. You know, all the big stars. They needed that because of the Cleopatra budget.
And the budget, they filmed on location. You know, so you got to move all these people out to the Mediterranean.
Yeah.
But last night they gave the award for the first time to casting director. Which surprised me. I
Harvey Weinstein won.
The what?
Or Harvey Weinstein won, casting director.
No, but when the woman won, she was talking about that. You know how they get full of themselves.
Yeah.
That she now represents all the casting directors that have lived in the shadows. Right?
Yeah.
And all I could think of is, who the hell cast Edward G. Robinson
in Ten Commandments?
10 Commandments.
Yeah. The guy. Yeah. See. Yeah. See. Yeah.
Yeah, Moses. You're not going to get by me, Moses. Hey.
That's a cool.
You know.
Yeah, you talk about miscasting someone in a role,
right? But by all means, give them an award. Now sometimes I will say a movie's perfectly cast. You know, Goodfellas is perfectly cast.
Mm-hmm.
You know, The Godfather, which Coppola. That had nothing to do with the casting director. Coppola is the one that wanted all that.
But the studio wanted other people.
Right. You know, it's and he went with Pacino based on Needle in the Park, which nobody saw.
Right.
But he knew Pacino was right and had a fight. And James Caan had a fight to get in.
They didn't want Brando either. They wanted Anthony Quinn.
They wanted nothing.
Anthony Quinn would have been good in that because I saw him do he played in the John Gotti movie with Armand Assante years ago in the HBO movie.
He also played Aristotle Onassis, and that to me was probably his best role ever. But I don't argue with that. I think Quinn would have been good, but the studio just wanted nothing to do with Brando.
That was the reason. It wasn't because he's a pain in the neck.
Right. But but perfectly cast movie. You know, so, but, you know, according to this, the casting director has a hand in everything. They have a hand in editing. They have a hand in cinematography. I never knew that.
Mm-hmm.
But then you mentioned there's years. So 39 is known as the best year ever. But a little homework for our listeners. Go online, look at Oscar Best Picture nominees in 67, 70, 72. Godfather won that year. 76, 78. The 70s was amazing. I know we've talked about it. But looking it over again, it just blows my mind how good these movies were. You know, and 80 and 83, and I stopped at 83 because I had to come here to do the show.
Mm-hmm.
But I could have spent all day looking.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I guess it's just nostalgic to remember these movies because I did not know one movie. The one movie that I tried to watch, I turned off that was nominated last night.
Yeah. Who won the Best Actress awards?
Supporting actress was won by Amy Madigan. She played a crazy character that
I'm trying. I know her. I know the name. I can't.
Oh, she played Costner's wife in Field of Dreams.
Okay.
She's great. She's married to Ed Harris.
Mm-hmm.
But this character, if I had the chance to ask her one question, I would ask her, how much did Bette Davis and Whatever Happened to Baby Jane influence this role? Because I had just watched
that was on yesterday.
I just watched it this weekend, and when I saw the clips from her in this movie, that was Baby Jane. She was being Betty Davis.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because Conan even made a joke about borrowing Betty Davis's wig. So I guess
she came up with that character by walking in. Betty Davis, I'm talking about. She created that character, or the looks of the character, by just walking in and picking the most outlandish. She wanted to look as crazy as possible. And she walked into a wardroom. Yeah, she came up with that whole makeup theme and the hair, everything, like you said. Similar to Charlie Chaplin doing that, how he came up with the tramp. He just walked in the wardrobe room and he picked this out and picked that out.
And the pants were Fatty Arbuckles.
Were they?
Yes.
That's funny.
And that's what he was looking for, was contrast. Really big pants, tight jacket, tight vest. You know,
he had the cane and the top hat,
and oversized shoes.
Yep.
You know, I recorded. I have not watched it, but I will watch it this week at some point. The Great Dictator. Speaking of Academy Awards, he did not win for that. But did you ever see it?
Yes.
The speech he makes at the end is as valid today as it was then. And he wrote it, just brilliantly written.
And he got chastised for that movie.
Oh yeah.
Didn't like the fact that they were imitating,
Hitler.
Yeah. I don't know.
The whole point was to humiliate Hitler.
Right. They missed the point.
And this was before we were in the war. This was 1938.
Yep.
And he's there kicking the globe up on his feet like he, runs the world.
Yep.
And it was all a shot at Hitler.
Yeah. Because he came from there.
But they also didn't like that he spoke. People had a hard time with him speaking in a movie. And I think that was his first one.
Well, I mean,
that he spoke.
It's kind of stupid, isn't it? Because the reason he didn't speak in the movie, well, I know that was his character, but there was silent movies anyway.
Right. But even after the talkies started, he still did silent movies. Because silent people struggled with talking.
Yeah.
But it's funny how many careers talking ended because they didn't have good voices. I mean, here you had these famous stars, but then they had...
And there's a few that transitioned well into the talkies, like Greta Garbo. She was a silent film star.
Right.
She transformed well.
Joan Crawford.
Yeah. Joan Crawford was one of them. And Marlene Dietrich. They all started out in silent films.
Gloria Swanson.
Norma Shearer. They all started out in that. And
she related to Harry? She related to Harry Shearer?
I don't know. I don't know what you mean by that.
Harry Shearer, the comedic actor, was in Spinal Tap.
Oh, I don't know him.
I'm not being facetious.
No, I don't know. I don't know who that is. That's why.
Oh, okay. They
the lights are blinking. Somebody got it on the third floor. Okay. They're dusting off the hot seat.
They're dusting off the hot seat for me.
This we're talking movies. I don't know, Rob. Do you have a electric chair upstairs?
No.
Okay.
Why, did you hear something?
No, I see the lights are blinking. I thought something
What lights
happened.
are blinking?
The lights in here are blinking.
They're not blinking in here?
Well, then you're in a better room than we are.
I guess so.
Oh.
We knew that when you moved us out here.
Yeah.
What are your favorite movies, Rob?
Mine aren't as old as yours.
Well, you're as old as we are, aren't you?
Yeah, but that's for some reason you guys are just love that 60s stuff.
No, if you really get down to it, I like the 30s and I like the 30s and the 40s.
I
Those
rest
are my
my
movies.
case.
Yeah, I'm way back from the 60s.
So what's your favorite movie, Rob?
Probably any of the Back to the Futures, for sure.
You know what? I could have guessed that
I don't like
because
them.
I'm staring at an out of time license plate
Right.
on the back of your door over here.
That's right.
They Back to the Future movies are great.
They don't.
They're edgy.
Yeah,
it's a lot more edgy than you think.
They're okay. It's not something I'll like. It's not something I gravitate to if I see something.
There's
coming
bullying, racism, attempted rape.
Yeah, I don't put that.
All
on my
the
list.
ingredients.
I don't put that on my list. But it's a good report you got this week on the Hollywood, and you did really ran the gamut.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's just a shame how political they have to make these award shows.
Yeah,
just make it about the movies.
I just don't. I don't want to be. I want to be entertained by shows. I don't want to be aggravated by them.
Right, and there was one award winner last night that used his entire time to make a speech, anti-American speech,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess you think to yourself, how often do I get to talk to 1 billion people? And I think, well, how many of the 1 billion people are like me, and I'm just fast forwarding through it?
Yeah.
Because I'm not that interested in your life.
No, I'm not.
And the mistake they make is thinking that we are. Because you know what happens? They work the room. That's what they're doing, is they're performing to that room. The hell with everybody watching on TV.
Right.
You know, you're all proud of me right now. You know what I've gone through for 30 years to get here. You know I've earned this. You know? I don't know.
No. Thank God I got recapped because I didn't see one thing of it. I wouldn't, if you didn't talk about it, it wouldn't have been a subject. But that's good. That's just what's good about this, you know. But
well, I feel that way about preseason.
Right. If you know what I mean, I'm not being smart.
I know.
You know, I didn't give it any time. I gave time to the WBC and stuff like that. I'm not going to give time to that negative crap because.
Well, I mean, it's a 3-4 hour show that I watch in about 45 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I always watch the monologue, and the monologue's always about the current movies. So I knew I wasn't going to get it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, but I like Conan O'Brien, and he did a great job.
I like Conan. He's one of the only ones I like. Talk show guys. Jimmy Fallon's okay, and I like Conan. I don't like any of the other ones. So again, I never watched one Stephen Colbert. I've never watched one of the other moron.
I don't.
It's on Channel 7.
I don't either. Only because I just don't think they're funny. I don't care about the content. I just don't think they're funny.
No, they're not funny.
But you know, but Kimmel's one of the ones that forgets the Man Show.
Yeah.
The vehicle that made him a star, he now turns his back on, and Corolla, they're still good friends, but he'll talk about it.
Will he?
Absolutely. He will talk about the hypocrisy of Kimmel not acknowledging the Man Show.
Yeah. Which where he picked up steam and got
girls
his start.
On trampolines.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, it made him a star. And that's fine. You know, I'm a firm believer in the right to turn the channel if you don't like what you see.
I agree.
So that's all I got.
Good job, Danny. Good job, Rob.
You too, man.
Thank you.
Happy St. Pat's.
Happy St. Pat's. See ya.